Everyone getting the screen, kindly respond in the chat box. Chat box में देखिए. अभी तो हम बोल नहीं रहे तो कहाँ से आएगा? Everyone getting the voice and the PPT. Sir, you can start the PPT.
Okay, welcome all. Sorry for last 5 or 10 minutes we are not connected to each other. I think now everyone is getting my voice. Is it clear, everybody? Okay. So today's session is basically based on computer architecture and how we build a computer system or a system using some tools and the background of computer architecture. I hope everyone is uh, getting my voice clearly and understand the topic. Okay. So first of all,
Everyone
we are
requested, Ashish sir, just a minute.
Hi,
Everyone is
yeah.
requested to pin the my register slide on your yes. इसमें जाइए. Pin button is there. Pin to the screen is option in the your side. Pin the that option on this slide. My slide. Register bar. Pin on your Google Meet icon. One option when you click my site, my PDF, you will get three options. One is pin, second is mute audio, and then you can't remove participant. So only you have to click on the pin button. So you will be all will be getting the screen at the same time. When the Ashish sir will be speaking, the screen will be not get from your side. Everyone have done this?
Okay, now start. And now shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So slide number 6. If you people are visiting slide number 6, what is computer architecture basically?
Slide number 6. Just a second. Yes.
So what is computer architecture? We have a very good stack of system that have application to physics. So what is physics? We are using, if you are thinking about NP and PNP, some types of phenomena you have read in the 12th class or 12th, 11th class. And now you are watching the computers. So computers, you are running the applications like Paintbrush, Microsoft Word, and other multimedia and the word processing applications. Between this, so too many concepts are lying in between the physics and applications. So in briefly, if we are saying the application is just matched to the physics, so it is a gap, is a very big gap. So gap is too large to bridge in one between the application and physics. So it is broadcast definition of a computer architecture is that is the abstraction and implementation layer that allow us to execute information processing application.
Voice, volume, voice कहीं आवाज आ रही है?
Hello, now you are getting my voice.
हाँ, yes, yes.
So thing is that application is running ultimately on a processor. What is processor? A processor is building with the use of physics. So you are just creating a processor, then how you build a processor and how you write something on a processor or operating systems. That's why you can run applications. So something between the application to physics, number of layers are exist, I think. So if we are going to the slide number 7, this is the complete stack of a computer architecture or a system. So first stack is application. Applications may be anything, is a multimedia, word processing, or you are running weather forecasting, anything else. So you then again, what you are thinking about, you are building a algorithm for that applications. You have write a program in any language. You are using a C, C++, Java, Python to implement a algorithms. So first you define the applications, then you define the algorithm of the applications, then you write a code in the programming language. This is maybe a C language, then maybe a C++ language or something else. Okay, then operating system. So operating system, and or we can say a system software. So system software is containing operating system and the compiler, and the compiler is compile the programs that efficiently transfer lower level languages. Okay, so if you know about the compiler is a T-type socket, is a T-type socket which convert a source language into a target language. The target language of a computer is a 0-1 binary languages, and report the error if anything else happens. So it provides a language is converted into the lower languages, but it would mean the compiler have two parts. One is computer dependent part and another is machine independent part. Computer independent part is you are writing C equals to A plus B. It is available for everyone. So is basically compiler is used to optimize your programming language and translate a language, while the other system software that is called operating system, which is used to interface between a user and the hardware. That user is you, means your application, and hardware is something that you are saying is a processor. So what is inside a processor is the instruction set architecture. So what is instruction set architecture? A instruction set architecture is a big A architecture. So the pupils of the computer architecture community is always talking about a big A architecture. So big A means you are taking the architecture A for big A architecture. So what is instruction set architecture? Basically, instruction set architecture is you are writing add R1, R2, R3. This is called a instruction set architecture. Okay, and how it is implemented and how will be implemented using some tool or some phenomena or organizations, that is some pupils are called this is a micro architecture, or some pupils are saying this is about implementation, and some pupils are saying this is an organization. So a basic syntax is add R1, R2, R3. So R1 and R2 and R3, these are three operands or the three registers, where R2 and R3 are your source registers and R1 is your destination registers, I can say. So you have what some destination where you have to move the data, and another you have to fetch the data. You can fetch the data from memory, you can fetch the data from register, or you can store the data back into a memory, or you can store the data back into a register. That is the part of a architecture, means is a part of a micro architecture where you want to move your data or store your data. Suppose if you are using only register for data transfer or data computation, suppose add R1, R2, R3 is a simple instruction. If you only operate the add operation on register, this is called a load stored architecture. Load stored architectures. The load stored architecture means every operation, each and every operation is performed only on the register. So first you into the register, then you compute some add, subtract, multiply, and everything. That is called operation. So if you are looking a simple instruction, that is add R1, R2, R3. So add is basically your operation, and R1, R2, R3 are your source and destination registers. Okay, so what is inside instruction set? Instruction set containing operation and operands both. Okay, so if we are looking a simple instruction add R1, R2, R3, first we converted add, that is called your operation is converted into the binary, that pupils are called, that pupils sometimes is called opcode. The operation which is converted into the binary is called opcode. Simultaneously, you have to convert your operands also in binary. So suppose you are writing in R2, you are containing 25, and R3 you are containing 30, that will also convert it into the binary language. So whenever your complete add, means operation add plus, is converted into the binary, that is called opcode. And sometimes if you have R2, R3 is also converting into a binary language. So opcode plus binary of operands combinedly, this is called a machine instruction, या machine language, या machine code. So machine code is something where what is a machine code is a code which containing the opcode in binary, which is always in binary, plus operand in binary. So instruction set architecture is basically containing operations and how to transfer the data. Maybe this is including your addressing mode, direct addressing mode, or indirect addressing mode, indexing or scaling, and all these things. So instruction set architecture is also decide. Instruction set architecture is
आशीष
also.
सर, इसके स्लाइड नंबर कौन सा है?
Slide number is 7.
हाँ 7 ही है ना, ठीक है,
Oh,
फुल
yeah.
स्क्रीन में।
Yeah. So basically the instruction set architecture, which is we always saying add R1, R2, R3. Okay. So R2 and R3 are your operands. So who decide the number of operands? Who will decide the number of operands? We decide. Who is writing the instruction set? Who is writing the instruction set is decide the number of operands. Number of operands. Suppose if you are talking about 8085 that you have read in your BTech second year or first year, and that is have a bracket sign in which you are writing the register. So this is something is located to memory. Getting my point? I am saying in 8085 when you read this, you have simple write instruction add R1, R2 and some bracket in which you are writing the some value or some register, that is called memory location. In that instruction set architecture, it allow to directly access the memory. So this is called 86 architecture, where you can directly operate add operation on a memory location. But whenever you are writing add R1, R2, R3, means you cannot operate the things at memory locations. It's operate always on registers. Okay, so later we later thinking about this more on the instruction set architecture. So basically thing is that it involves the addressing modes, it involves the number of operands, it involves where you want to operate at memory location or register. If you are restricted it at the only register, this is called load stored architecture. So basically the RISC family is operated on only load stored architecture. So they are operating on, why they are operating on the registers? Because they want the fast computation, because the register is very fast. They are located near to the processor on chip. Otherwise you have to go for the program memory or data memory, which is outside the what your you can say something as outside your chip, or maybe you have to fetch the data from outside the chip. So if you are using the cache, it is good, otherwise not. Okay, so then the thing is that how I implement R1, R2, R3, add R1, R2, R3, that is the part of micro architecture. If I will complete it in within one clock cycle, this is without pipelining, I have to use complete clock cycle. Okay, if I break it in a simple one by one clock, fetch instruction, then decode the operation, decode operands, then execute, then stored back. That is the pipelining concept. So microarchitecture is showing that how we implement add R1, R2, R3. Is it clear? And another is register transfer language. Then this microarchitecture is converted into some languages format, register transfer level format. That's shown the basic building block of registers. Okay. Then is a gate level. Then your add. Add is what? Your full adder, half adder. Okay. That is converted into what? Add operation. So you can say register transfer language is your simply we can say is a SOP POS format. Okay. And the gate is basically you are converting this is into the what gate level, how this is look like. Okay. Add and or all these things. Then you are converting this gate into the circuit because your OR gate is also built by some CMOS or MOS. So what you are using a circuit at that level. Then you are converting this into the devices. Devices means you are using a CMOS structure. Then you are talking about building a new device that is called physics. Maybe your you can say FinFET or you can use a CMOS. So this is a complete stack. Okay. So what happens if you change the physics, your device is changed. If you change the device, you can build new circuit. If you want to build a gate, gate is what basically is a logic gates. Gate is not physical. This is what logic gates. So logic means you are building something with the logic. So circuit is the physical and gate is logic. So you are representing AND gate. So that is the logic of a gate. AND is basically made of the white CMOS. But it's something which is like gate. You are representing into the logic. So you can minimize the number of gate minimization. So gate minimization means minimization algorithms you are using. The minimizations you are using K-map and all these things at the gate level. Okay. Clear to everybody, I think. So this is the complete stack. Then your gate is built as some microarchitecture. Then you build a add R1, R2, R3. Then add an R1, R2, R3 running on an operating system that is your Unix, Linux. And suppose you are choosing a language which is running on the operating system is something different, Python. Then you have to provide an environment of compiler, then applications. So first you have to think about the applications. Then you have to go for the physics. Okay. So these are two approaches. One is the bottom up. You can build a processor, then run the application. Another is your you can choose application, then build a processor. So this is what top down and bottom up approach to design a system. But the computer architecture have only 3 layers. That is instruction set architecture, microarchitecture, and register transfer level. These 3 are residing into the computer architecture stack. Okay. Now we are come to the next slide. That is slide number 8. This is the same that I have told, and move to the slide number 9. So what? The application is you suggest to how to improve the architecture. Suppose you are using a multimedia application. Then the multimedia means you are using something image processing or audio processing or video processing. Then what is in audio and video is a convolutions basically. So convolutions means you have very much adder, multiplier and subtractor, these types of hardware. And another thing is that what is the data? Data is your pixel value. So you have large number of data and you have only 3-4 operations, that is add, subtract and multiply. Then my application is suggest to me you have to put more adder, more multiplier, more subtractor in the hardware or in ALU design, okay, rather than another too much control units. And you have a large number of data unit, a data memory, which can compute this one. Or we can say this is the type of a single instruction, multiple data types of thing, where you have to put only 2-3 instructions, means you have to go for the add, subtract or multiply only, and you have the huge number of data. So this is application suggest me to improve my architecture or improve my hardware so that can I build for a particular process. What about the technology constants? The technology constant is saying if I am going for a new technology, means it can be possible for a new architecture. Suppose previously we are using a Pentium 4. That time we have packed something 10 raised to 5 or 10 raised to power 3 or 4 number of transistor in it. But right now the transistor size or the nanometer technology is down. Okay, so nanometer technology is down. Now I can pick more and more transistors in a single chip or in the same area. So it be suggest to replicate the number of resources that is reflected in your number of cores. Now your core is moving toward unicore to multi-core because my Moore's law means every 12 months or every 18 months or 2 years, your number of transistors are doubled. So how it is possible? Because our nanometer technology is shrinking. That's why we can pack the number of more transistor into the same chip area. Okay, that is my technology saying. If I think the all of you pupils have the mobile. Okay, so previously we are using the Samsung mobile or Motorola mobile. They have only CMOS technology. If you are right now, if someone have the what Honor phone, Honor Honor 20 or Honor phone, they have FinFET devices. Okay, they have FinFET devices. So this why the FinFET is new technology, new physics, new device. Why we are using? Because it's about temperature sensitive, temperatures oriented device. So it's more suppressing the what temperature, or you can say the more to handle the more hotspot points. So what the technology suggests me, that my technology, that my physics, it suggests me you can use a new device in which you can run a what high computation units or higher computation applications. So right now the processor are building with some new materials rather than the CMOS. That is by the technology, and also we are packing the more transistor because of the shrinking of the transistor size. That is also possible by the new technology size. Sometimes the people are saying this is the nanometer technology. Why this is nanometer? The channel length is suggesting. If you are shrinking the channel length, the technology is down. So previously you are using 180 nanometer, then 19, then the 45, then some people are using 22, then 18. Some of the boards of what Xilinx boards are also coming into the 17 nanometers technologies, and then the 11 nanometer, then the 7 nanometer. So for academics, some of the what units are also available for academic purpose. This is what 7 nanometer till 7 nanometer CMOS models are available. NMOS and CMOS models are available. So what how this is possible due to the what technology. So we use the technology, we use some applications, then what the architecture, we build the architecture. Then what the architecture provide the feedback to guide application and technology to research guidance. How? You are building some new physics, but maybe possible the architecture is restricted some boundaries. So now the architecture suggests to what upper layer and the lower layer, you can go for the changes. Okay. So move to the next slide. Slide number 10. Slide number 10 is a Gajarski Y chart. So previously we are looking for a complete system stack. Right now we are looking for a Gajarski Y chart. That is, provide me a view and label. That is, provide me a view. There are three views to look a problem. One is the behavior, another is the structure, and last one is the physical. So behavior you can view as a behavior view, and a structure view, and you can view as a physical view. Okay, so what is the behavior view? It is simple. If you people just thinking about one thing, very simple. You all are going through the what digital components or the digital electronics subject. Whenever you are writing a Boolean equation, is a part of SOP or POS. Okay, sum of product and product of sum. You are writing a Boolean equation in that. Okay, that is sum of product and product of sum. But whenever you are writing a full adder circuit in a equation, that is called a behavior model. Okay, is it clear? Sum equation and carry equation. This is a Boolean equation. But whenever you are making its diagram, is a gate level model. How these gates are connected to each other. Getting my point? Whenever you are converting the equation into what? Full adder into a what?
Yes, sir.
Diagram. Okay? That diagram is what? Connecting of the gates. AND gate, OR gate, and NAND gate, all these things. That is called what? Structural modeling. Yes, structure domain. Structures told me how my gates are connected, how my components are connected. Behavior is simply an equation, is an algorithm, representation of anything in a simple algorithmic way. Is it clear? And structure is a connection of components. And physical is what is physical? Physical means you are converting the gates into some what? Physical devices. What is physical of the gates? MOS, CMOS, and all these things. That is, sometimes you are talking about the cells. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you have different level to look all these things. If you are looking a system view, system means you are talking about a computer. You have CPU, you have memory. That is what is a component of a system. That is a structural domain. Whatever you are saying into system specification is a behavior domain. What is system specification? System specification is what? You are writing a simple, in a simple language. You have containing these types of phenomena, this types of phenomena for memory, this type of phenomena in CPU. You can writing in a simple language. The language may be your English, maybe your C or your C++. Then you represent the module into the algorithm. So this is called what? Algorithmic level. So you build the modules or subsystems. Subsystems, what is the subsystem of a CPU? Subsystem of a CPU, control unit, okay, and computational units, ALU, and all these things. So what you are writing? RTL level specification at RTL level, then you convert it into what? Some ALU, register, and mux. This is what is structural domain. Whenever you are moving, just listen carefully, whenever you are moving a behavior domain to a structure domain, means you are converting a Boolean equation into gate representation. This is called a synthesis process. This is called a synthesis process. Means you are allocating a resources. Allocating means resources means you are allocating the number of gates, you are allocating the number of wires, you are allocating the what? At which time which gate is compute. Okay, so basically you are allocating the what? Resources. You schedule the resources. If you have number of 2 or 3 resources, you have to compute it using a what? First, if suppose you have 3 add operation or you have only 1 adder, what happen? You one by one do these things. That is called what? Scheduling. So scheduling is a part of a timing that decided the number of clock cycle. Okay, I am not going into the what too much hard basis, but what we are saying, a behavior to structure moving means, suppose I have a Boolean equation, SOP POS format. Whenever I am converting into the what number of gates or flip-flops, that is called structure modeling. But the process we are moving from behavior to structure is called synthesis. At which level we are moving? This is called the which level of synthesis. Suppose we are moving at the logical level, this is called what? Logical synthesis. If you are writing a differential equation of voltage I and V, this is called what? A behavior domain at circuit level. of a CMOS, and if you are converting into the transistor, this is called what a structure domain. This is called what circuit synthesis. जैसा कि आप H spice, LT spice में लिखते हो, कोडिंग लिखते हो, कोडिंग को इसमें ट्रांसफर करते हो, ट्रांजिस्टर लेवल में ट्रांसफर करते हो, ट्रांजिस्टर में कन्वर्ट कर देते हो, तो वो जो कन्वर्जन है इक्वेशन का V और I का ट्रांजिस्टर के लेवल में, वो जो कन्वर्जन है उसको हम कहते हैं सर्किट सिंथेसिस। ऐसे ही जब मैं बूलियन जो इक्वेशन है मेरी, जब उसका मैं प्रोडक्ट ऑफ सम और सम ऑफ प्रोडक्ट लिखता हूँ, तो वो जो लॉजिक है उसको मैं क्या करता हूँ, बिहेवियर से नंबर ऑफ गेट और फ्लिप फ्लॉप में जब मूव करता हूँ तो वो मेरा लॉजिक सिंथेसिस कहलाता है। ऐसे ही जब मैंने कोई इक्वेशन या कोई मैंने C++ में कोड लिखा है और वो जो C++ का कोड है वो सिस्टम लेवल पर उसके CPU या मेमोरी को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है, तो वो सिस्टम सिंथेसिस कहलाता है। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. So whenever my CPU is converted into a what, CPU किस पर होता है? CPU का लगा होता है बोर्ड पर, चिप पर, एक चिप बनता है, तो चिप और मेमोरी एक बोर्ड पर लगे हुए होते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो मेरा मदरबोर्ड कहलाता है। दैट इज माय फिजिकल डोमेन। I am representing my CPU memory as a physical board, so this is called what, physical board. Okay, whenever I convert my gate or transistor in polygons, what is polygons? जो आप लेआउट बनाते हो किसका, ट्रांजिस्टर का, वो पॉलीगन साइज का होता है। दैट इज माय फिजिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट, फिजिकल सिंथेसिस। सो क्या कर सकते हैं हम चाहें तो किसी भी सिस्टम को उसके बिहेवियर से लिख सकते हैं, चाहे हम उसका गेट लेवल रिप्रेजेंटेशन कर दें। मीन्स कहने का अर्थ है आपने फुल एडर लिया, फुल एडर की POS SOP फॉर्मेट लिखा आपने, वो भी सही है क्योंकि वो बिहेवियर रिप्रेजेंटेशन है। यदि आपने उसको गेट की फॉर्मेट में इंटरकनेक्शन में दिखा दिया, वो आपका स्ट्रक्चर रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, वो भी सही है। और यदि आपने उसको गेट को यदि सेल्स की फॉर्मेट में दिखा दिया है, ओके, सेल्स मतलब यू आर कन्वर्टिंग द गेट इनटू व्हाट, सम सेल्स। सेल्स कौन से होते हैं? सेल्स क्या होते हैं? पॉलीगन से अपर लेयर जो होती है, सेल्स होते हैं, ठीक है, उसमें रिप्रेजेंटेशन। या मैं कहूँ कि आपने ट्रांजिस्टर को पॉलीगन की फॉर्मेट में बना दिया, लेआउट बना के लिख दो, चाहे ट्रांजिस्टर ड्रॉ कर दो, चाहे I और V की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स लिख दो, दे आर द सेम। सो यू कैन व्यू ए सिंपल वन प्रॉब्लम विद द व्हाट, 3 डिफरेंट व्यू, बिहेवियर, स्ट्रक्चर और फिजिकल। और यू कैन लुक ए प्रॉब्लम, किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को आप, वॉट एवर द प्रॉब्लम, you can look a problem at the different level. If you are looking at the system level, this is the upper level abstract view, जिसमें आपको केवल CPU मेमोरी दिख रहा है कि CPU है, वो कंप्यूट करता है, मेमोरी है जिसमें डेटा स्टोरेज होता है। Whenever you go through the deeper level, logical level, your CPU is represented into ALU, register और MUX, okay, RTL level पर। Whenever you are drawing the what, multiplexer बनाओगे, ALU बनाओगे, तो किससे बनेगा? गेट से बनेगा। तो वो और आप इनसाइड में चले गए तो नंबर ऑफ गेट्स कितने लगे, कितने नहीं लगे, फ्लिप फ्लॉप्स कितने लगे, ठीक है। ऐसे ही जब आपने गेट को ट्रांजिस्टर में कन्वर्ट किया और चला गया अंदर, और जब आपने ट्रांजिस्टर को किसमें, पॉलीगन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया, तो वो फिजिकल डिवाइस में आ गया। सो व्हेनेवर यू आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स सेंटर, जो सेंटर है, किसका सेंटर, जो सर्कल्स बने हुए इसके सेंटर की तरफ जाओगे, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट, योर एक्यूरेसी। एक्यूरेसी आपकी बढ़ती चली जाएगी, बिकॉज जब आप ट्रांजिस्टर लेवल की बात करोगे तो उसमें आपका करंट और वोल्टेज है और जो टाइमिंग है बिल्कुल एक्यूरेट आएगा। जब आप पॉलीगन की बात करोगे बिल्कुल एकदम अंदर जाके, तो उसकी क्या कहते हैं, जब लेआउट की बात करोगे तो वेयर योर ट्रांजिस्टर के बीच में जो राउटिंग है, फ्लोर प्लान प्लेसमेंट और राउटिंग जिसको कहते हो, आप लेआउट बनाते हो, तो वो कैसे बनेगा, कितना वायर लगेगा, तो उसमें एक्यूरेसी बढ़ जाएगी। व्हेनेवर यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट द बोर्ड, चिप और बोर्ड, जब आप बोर्ड परचेज करने जाते हो, सिस्टम परचेज करने जाते हो, तो जब आप देखते हो कि सिस्टम में क्या है, कि मदरबोर्ड कैसे लेना है, कैसे नहीं लेना, तो वो एकदम एब्स्ट्रैक्ट व्यू आ जाता है आपका, बिल्कुल एकदम बाहर जो सबसे अपर लेवल होता है, तो वहाँ पर एक्यूरेसी इतनी नहीं रहती। सो वी आर मूविंग इनसाइड, यदि हम सेंटर की तरफ मूव करता हूँ, इफ वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द सेंटर, देन आवर एक्यूरेसी इज इंक्रीजिंग। इफ वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द व्हाट, अपर लेवल, आवर एक्यूरेसी इज व्हाट, lacking. What? Our system integration is what? Faster. हमारा सिस्टम जो है बिल्ड जल्दी हो जाएगा. If we go for the what, designing a transistor, it takes more time. If we are using the number of components and build a system, then the system can be built faster. So what? If we are at the upper circle, यदि हम सबसे बाहर वाले सर्किल पर हैं, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं, we can say कि it's a what, lower accuracy, but high integration point, or the design time is very low. Is it clear to everybody? This source is taken from the Gajarski specification and design of embedded system, Professor Daniel D. Gajarski. Okay, clear to everybody? I hope this slide is clear to everybody. Okay, so moving to the next slide, slide number 11. That is same as Gajarski chart. Gajarski, we have seen the three views and what three levels. So what these three axes is called behavior, structure, and physical, same. But another, if you are seeing the what the green parrot color, blue color, and the magenta color, and the another dark blue color. So these are what levels. Okay, same. But what happens? Another the professor Dr. Wolfgang Nebel is from the France dependent lab laboratories. Is talking about the Y chart. That is Y is Y chart 2.0. Previously, his Y chart is first. That is given by the Professor Daniel D. Gajarski. Now, if we are talking about a system,
At the end of the session.
how much time it take, how much power it generate, how much temperature it can generate, and how long it is survive. This is called a metric for a system, a processor, or a logic, or a circuit. You are using a full adder, but how much time it will take to execute a add operation? That is called what? Timing. And how much power it is used to compute it? That is the what you are using, or the activity, or you are using you have generated by the what running a add operation. And after it, if you are running something and generate a power, means you are generating the heat, means how much temperature it built, or how much heat transfer outside the what chip, or how much temperature the chip is sustained. So this is what the another metric is, temperature. And last is aging. Aging is something is what we are saying, I am 24 years old pupil, and someone is saying I am 84 years old pupil, and someone is saying I am only 15 years is a young person. So what happens when the pupil is 18 to 24? Is a young one, is he has too much energy. Okay, whenever he's old at 80, can he run as same speed? No, he cannot run at the same speed because he's aged. वो बूढ़ा हो गया है, वो उतनी स्पीड से नहीं चल सकता. Same about our system. You pupils are always saying, यार मेरा मोबाइल स्लो हो गया है, मेरा लैपटॉप स्लो हो गया है. Whenever you are using 2-3 years, that is the age of your device. Your device is aged, or your device is degrade. So every device or every phenomena in the nature is also aged. So your CMOS is also aged, because we are saying मेरा जो सिस्टम है उसका परफॉर्मेंस कम हो गया है. यार मैंने उसमें से कोई कंपोनेंट हटाया नहीं है, मैंने उसमें से कोई चीज़ अलग की नहीं है, उसको उतनी पावर दे रहा हूँ, उतना ही सब कुछ कर रहा हूँ, फिर भी मैं ये काफ़ी समय बाद वही एप्लीकेशन रन कर रहा हूँ, उतने ही रिसोर्सेज पर रन कर रहा हूँ, और मैं ये कहता हूँ कि मेरा सिस्टम पहले से क्या हो चुका है? स्लो हो चुका है. मीन्स मेरा CMOS जो मेरा CPU है पहले की तरह एक्टिव नहीं है, वो पहले से एज्ड हो चुका है, वो पहले के बराबर टाइमिंग नहीं दे रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट द रिलायबिलिटी of your product. So reliability is more important. Why the reliability is more important? Reliability is important in not sense into our CPU. Maybe possible your device, you can say your mobile can be delayed 1 nanosecond, 2 nanosecond, or 1 minute. It's not harmful to us. Okay, but whenever you are thinking about a device, you are launching into the nuclear plant. If it is aged and it is what decayed by the 1 second or 1 nanoseconds, because the temperature is suppose 10,000 degree and you have to shut down the system within the 1 second. If your device is aged, it does not respond to the same time, means you are going for a catastrophic loss, physical loss. Okay, that time the aging or reliability is a more concerned thing. Suppose you are launching a device, or you are launching a rocket, or you are launching a particular robot into the what planet, and you are seeing it is aged, so it cannot reach to the same place. Or you also, if you are talking about the guided missile systems, they are also aging aware devices, because if suppose my guided missile, if I'm launching a missile to a target and it is aged by some nanoseconds, so maybe possible it is late, your target is moved, so that's why you can lose your target. Okay, so in the time critical systems, or the what we are saying the real time systems, you have to build a system that is aged aware, aging aware, jinka aging nahi ho, means you have to always make the pupils young. Is it clear to everybody? So you have four different metrics. One is time, how much time a adder take to compute add operation. Another is how much time how much power it can take to compute, and how much temperature it generate, and how much it aged. So what time is what? How you calculate the time? You can calculate the time by the delay of a gate, or the combinational delay or gate delay, okay, or net delay. Is it clear? And how you compute the power? Static power, dynamic power, and leakage power. And how you compute the temperature? Temperature means the energy is dissipated in the form of heat, okay, that is what my temperature, okay. And aging means my CMOS is degraded, okay. So we look for next time, power, temperature, and aging in the next some next slides, okay. Is it clear to everybody, or shall I repeat?
No, yes, sir.
Sir, clear.
Next slide.
Okay. So design metric for a system is performance or speed. Slide number 12. Design metrics of a system and the circuit, that is performance or speed, power and energy, temperature and hotspot, and reliability or aging. These are simply reflections. So if we are looking for a simple, previously we are talking about a general purpose computing. If you are looking for some embedded systems, the metrics are changes. Means hardware in loop. If you are looking for a washing machine, a chip is inside a hardware. A chip is inside a complete running system. So this is what hardware in loop, and this is only for what? Washing the clothes. That is application specific. Then is hardware plus software, means you are writing a software into a what? Hardware ROM, that is what? Repetitively executed. Repetitively executed means वही program बार बार run होगा. Is it clear to everybody? And another is reactive, active plus active. Reactive means active plus active. So it is what? Continuously interact with the environment, okay. And somehow the multi-rates support different rate of executions, like audio and video. मेरी voice अलग जा रही है, मेरा video, मेरी image अलग जा रही है, means the synchronization between the audio and video. So audio की speed अलग हो सकती है, video की speed अलग हो सकती है, but you have to synchronize. So what different applications run on different rate, but need to synchronize. That is the part of embedded systems. How we differentiate the embedded system with the different system? Embedded is a hardware plus software, but it is application specific. So low area, low power, and high performance. And hardware is always in loop, is a reactive system. And also one more thing is what? If you pupils are using in 8051 का यदि आपने प्रोग्राम किया होगा माइक्रो कंट्रोलर का, तो आपने देखा होगा कि आपने we are moving to next slide 13. Okay, so what? आपने क्या किया? सिस्टम पे कोई प्रोग्राम लिखा. Okay, Anurag, I am going into the Hindi, no problem.
No problem, sir.
No problem.
I think the students can understand, है ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you are writing the program into a host computer. So host computer is which are you are using. So you are running you are write a program into C, C++, or you can say this is what? Embedded C. Okay, then you what? Check, means you are debugging the program. So debugging means debugging of a software on a host machine. You are checking the what errors in a host machine. So you what debug the programs and remove the errors. Then you what deploy or burn the executable on ROM. So what is ROM? In 8051 microcontroller, you have about ROM memory. Okay. So we are what burning the what executable. What is executable? Executable is what? Hexa file. We are creating after executing the compile and build the system. Build जिसको आप build करते हो. अगर आपने देखा हो 8051 में आपने build करके देखा होगा. So you are generating the hex file. That hex file is called what? Executable file. So we are only burning the what? Hex file. We are deploy only hex file, not source file, not C file, not C++ file. We are running the hex file or .exe or .hex, you can say. So what this is called what? Executable. So whenever you are building, you are burning the hex file, means you cannot tackle the error at the runtime. Getting my point? This is the crucial thing in embedded system. What? You cannot handle the error at the runtime. Why you cannot handle the error at the runtime? Because we are running the executable file. अब executable file के अंदर तो मैं कोई change नहीं कर सकता. ओके, सोर्स प्रोग्राम में मैं एरर रिमूव कर सकता हूं. किसमें कर सकता हूं? सोर्स प्रोग्राम के अंदर, जो मैंने पहले ही होस्ट कंप्यूटर पे क्या कर लिया है, डबकिंग करके एरर हटा के ही उसको एग्जीक्यूटेबल बनाया है. अगर मेरे एग्जीक्यूटेबल में कोई एरर रह जाती है तो वो मेरे सिस्टम में भी रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा. मींस कहने का अर्थ है यदि मैंने 8051 का कोई कंट्रोलर लिया और वो कंट्रोलर पे मैंने टेम्परेचर का मेजर करना है, मेरे को उससे ही क्या कहते हैं मेरी मोटर को मूव कराना है, तो उससे क्या होगा, यदि मैंने कोई भी प्रोग्राम गलत लिख दिया तो वो हमेशा ही गलत रहेगा. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? समझ आ रहा है?
हाँ सर.
हाँ. सो what is input to a embedded system is a sensor. Convert the physical gesture into the what? Electrical signals. Input means you are using some sensors. Sensors कौन से? Temperature sensors है, humidity sensors है, ठीक है, audio sensors है, sound sensors हैं. They are converting the first physical gesture into the electrical signal. So we are converting the what photo sensor into the what electrical signal, then amplify at the level of what microprocessor or microcontroller that convert the what input signal. What is output? Actuator is the output. So converting the electrical signal into the mechanical work. जैसे मोटर को मूव कराना है, मोटर कैसे मूव करेगी? सिग्नल तो उसमें इलेक्ट्रिकल जाएगा, बट यू हैव टू रोटेट द मींस पल्स विथ मॉड्यूलेशन से आप डिफाइन कर सकते हैं कि मोटर कितनी घूमेगी. इज इट क्लियर to everyone? So sensor and actuators are different. One is using for the input, other is using for output. Main thing is that you have used a 8015 family is a software where you can write a program, C program, that is called what? Embedded C program, that is converted into hexa file. Hexa file is burned into the ROM. Then what ROM's program is what? In infinity loop. That loop is always running the what? Hardware. वही हार्डवेयर में बार बार प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट होता है, इसलिए हमने लिखा था स्टार्टिंग में हार्डवेयर इन द लूप. इज इट क्लियर? मेन थिंग इज दैट यू कैन नॉट handle the error at the runtime in embedded system because we are running the executable file in the what? ROM. That's why we never handle the error at the runtime in embedded system. Is it clear? This slide is clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next we are moving to the next slide. So what is processor technology? A processor technology is what? We have three types of processor. We can say we does not know about the application. जैसे हम लैपटॉप लेने जाते हैं तो हमें ये पता नहीं होता कि हम उस लैपटॉप पर कौन सी एप्लीकेशन रन करेंगे. You can use a multimedia to watch a movie, or you can go for the gaming, or you can run a what very big program on it. So what you are looking for a general purpose processor or a general purpose processor. So the diagram number 1 is showing the what general purpose processor. So what a processor is containing a program memory, okay, in which you are writing the what program. Another is data memory, where the data is putting the data. Okay, and another is what ALU unit. ALU, you know about the arithmetical logical unit. That is what for computation. And you have what register file that is attached with the what ALU. So ALU is means simply a data path. डेटा कहाँ से जाएगा, कैसे एग्जीक्यूट होगा, डेटा कैसे डेटा मेमोरी से आएगा. बट यू हैव सम कंट्रोल यूनिट, हाउ माय डेटा इज एग्जीक्यूटेड. डेटा कब जाएगा, किस समय जाएगा, कितना जाना है, दैट इज डिपेंड बाय द कंट्रोल सिग्नल. रीड करना है, राइट करना है. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट कंट्रोल यूनिट. ओके, सो इंस्ट्रक्शन रजिस्टर्स एंड द प्रोग्राम काउंटर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल यूनिट. ओके, कब कौन से किस इंस्ट्रक्शन पे मूव करेगा, कब नहीं करेगा, है ना ये. सो व्हाट, जब हमें इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द जनरल पर्पज प्रोसेसर, दैट टाइम वी हैव ए वेरी बिग जनरल ALU. हम क्या चाहेंगे, मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम उसके अंदर कंप्यूटेशन हो सके. सो दैट टाइम्स वी कैन बिल्ड ए वेरी लार्ज ALU सर्किट, more multiplier, more adder, more multiplexer. So it's a big machine, and we are putting a register file. Number of registers are maybe what larger, not a 2, 3, 4 registers. This is what register files, 32-bit register long or something, this one. And you have a very big program memory, जिसमें बहुत सारा प्रोग्राम लिख सको. And you have a very big data memories also. Okay, that's why this system have very much computational unit. It can handle the what number of application. So this is called what general purpose computing. So what the components of general purpose computing are available in the market. So it takes what very low time to configure it. Is it okay? Because you are writing the program, and the program memory program is executed into the ALU. So it can be built faster but have a very good performance. Okay, बट इसका एरिया ज़्यादा होगा, पावर ज़्यादा होगा, कंजप्शन. दैट इज द पार्ट ऑफ जनरल पर्पज प्रोसेसर. अनदर टाइम इफ वी आर लुकिंग फॉर एप्लीकेशन स्पेसिफिक प्रोसेसर, like I have to run only audio, video or multimedia, some 2-3 applications. That time I know about it. In multimedia applications are more involved in adder, multiplier, subtraction, convolution theorems. That types of example is multimedia processor, DSP processors. सुना होगा आपने नाम DSP processor, digital signal processing processor. What times? That times their ALU is customized according to what multimedia applications. So my ALU is have what number of registers only. We are shrinking the register file into the number of registers. Means number of registers हमने क्या कर दिए, कम कर दिए हैं. And we have also what customized our ALU according to it. How we customize our ALU? Because we are more centering on what multiply, addition and subtraction. ALU because convolutions जो काम करेगा. That time my data path is more customized. Okay, my more customized. So this is called what application specific processor. Is it clear to everybody? समझ आ रहा है दोनों चीजें, क्या अंतर है दोनों में? पहले वाले में मेरा जनरल पर्पस ALU था, दूसरे वाले में मेरा कस्टम ALU है. मेरे रजिस्टर सेट बहुत कम हो गया है पहले की तुलना में. नाउ थर्ड वन इज कॉल्ड व्हाट हार्डवेयर डिजाइन या एप्लीकेशन हार्डवेयर. सीधा एप्लीकेशन हार्डवेयर में क्या है, सपोज मुझे केवल एक ही प्रोग्राम करना है. क्या प्रोग्राम, क्या मेरा 4i = 0 से लेकर i < 10 i++ सम करना है मुझे. सो ai = bi + ci. तो मेरे पास क्या है, आई मीन्स डेटा है, ABC 3 डेटा रजिस्टर्स है मेरे पास, सिंपल. ओके, एक लूप के अंदर. तो मेरे पास डेटा बहुत सारा हो सकता है, मगर मेरा जो प्रोग्राम है, प्रोग्राम क्या कर रहा है, ओनली एडिशन, ऐड. सो दैट्स व्हाई माय प्रोग्राम इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू हार्डवेयर, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट डेटा पाथ. सो आई हैव ओनली इंडेक्स रजिस्टर i and one adder plus and another for what total register. Getting my point? So you have only 2 register and 1 adder. You are converting the program memory into hardware, and which state is you are available. अभी किस state में, that is handled by the control logic. Okay? कि आप अभी डेटा प्लस कर रहे हैं, कौन सी जगह पर है. So मेरा कहने का अर्थ है that is means you remove the program memory, or you can say the program memory converted into the data path, that is what my optimized hardware design, in which I convert my program into hardware, and this is called what hardware design या application hardware, where program memory is what not available, only data is given to this one. So AI equals to BI plus CI में क्या होगा, रजिस्टर फिक्स है, केवल डेटा जा रहा है A, B और C का. इज इट क्लियर? A equals to B plus C में B और C में से केवल डेटा जाएगा और A में कंप्यूट होता चला जाएगा. ओनली वन एडर इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो व्हाई आई हैव टू राइट द प्रोग्राम? मुझे प्रोग्राम लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर यही प्रोग्राम मैं जनरल पर्पज प्रोसेसर पर करूंगा तो क्या होगा, छोटा सा प्रोग्राम, बहुत बड़ी प्रोग्राम मेमोरी, बहुत बड़ा ALU. तो मतलब क्या होगा, मुझे ज्यादा पावर लगेगी, ज्यादा मेरा एरिया लगेगा. सो इट्स नॉट ऑप्टिमाइज. सो बट मेरा प्रोग्राम जब मैंने किस में कन्वर्ट किया, डेटा पाथ में, हार्डवेयर में कन्वर्ट किया है, तो मुझे वो हार्डवेयर बनाना पड़ेगा. इज इट क्लियर? तो ये टाइम ज्यादा लेगा, मगर इसका स्पीड और इसका डिजाइन बड़ी कॉम्पैक्ट होगा, एरिया बहुत कॉम्पैक्ट होगा, बहुत छोटा होगा. इज इट क्लियर? सो वेन एवर यू आर डिजाइनिंग ए फुल कस्टम थिंग, मतलब फुल कस्टम, सेमी कस्टम पढ़ा होगा आपने. अगर अपने हाथ से कोई सिस्टम बनाते हो तो अगर उसका लेआउट पूरा सब कुछ आप डिजाइन करते हो, उसका सीमोस भी आप डिजाइन करते हो, उसका गेट भी आप डिजाइन करते हो, तो वो सिस्टम क्या होगा, एकदम ऑप्टिमाइज बनेगा, बट वो बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लेगा. ठीक है? इफ यू आर यूजिंग द कुक एंड बुक कंपोनेंट्स मीन्स वो सिस्टम क्या होगा, सिस्टम जल्दी से बिल्ड कर पाओगे, बट उसका जो होगा एरिया और पावर ऑप्टिमाइज नहीं होगा. सो प्रोसेसर हैव 3 डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज. वन कैन बी योर व्हाट जनरल पर्पज, other is application specific like DSP, and another is what hardware applications. So hardware applications का जानते हो क्या है? एग्जाम्पल कोई बता सकता है मुझे? एनीवन? एक्सीलेटर्स, ग्राफिक्स कार्ड जो आपका है, ASIC एप्लीकेशन स्पेसिफिक इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट, दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ हार्डवेयर एप्लीकेशंस. वो क्या करता है, केवल एक्सीलेट करता है, ग्राफिक्स के लिए बना हुआ है वो. ठीक है? So accelerator design is what hardware applications. Okay, clear to everybody? Slide number 14. Anurag, shall we go for
Yes.
the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So another is slide number 15 is that what CPU performance. अब आपने CPU देखा, CPU में क्या होता है ये देख लिया इनसाइड कि प्रोग्राम होता, प्रोग्राम मेमोरी है, डेटा मेमोरी है, ALU है, डेटा पाथ है, IR है, कंट्रोल यूनिट है, ये सब कुछ देखा. अब थिंग इज दैट कि CPU का एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम क्या होता है. सो व्हाट इज CPU एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम? फर्स्ट, इफ आई एम राइटिंग IC इंस्ट्रक्शन काउंट, कितने नंबर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं. अनदर इज CPI साइकिल पर इंस्ट्रक्शन, साइकिल पर इंस्ट्रक्शन, एक इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट होने में कितना क्लॉक साइकिल लग रहा है. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? पहला क्या है, जैसे मैंने एक प्रोग्राम लिखा, P प्रोग्राम है, कोई एप्लीकेशन के लिए लिखा हुआ है, उसमें लिखा add R1 R2 R3, फिर लिखा add R1 R2 R3, add R1 R2 R3 के बाद में लिखा मैंने add R4 R5 R6. ठीक है? फिर मल्टीप्लाई R7 R8 R9, देन व्हाट subtract R10 R11 R12. so this is what program where you have what 2 add instruction. So instruction count of add is 2, subtract का 1 है क्योंकि एक बार आया है, मल्टीप्लाई एक बार आया है. बट सपोज यदि ऐड को, जिसे आपने 8051 में पढ़ा होगा कि कितने क्लॉक साइकिल लगते हैं मल्टीप्लाई को, ऐसे ही दैट इज डिपेंड्स बाय द कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर pupils कि हाउ मेनी क्लॉक साइकिल ए इंस्ट्रक्शन इज टेकिंग टू एग्जीक्यूट. एक इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए कितने क्लॉक साइकिल चाहिए. Maybe add can be executed in a 1 clock cycle, or maybe add can be executed in a 2 clock cycle. That is depends by the hardware. Okay? And another is what cycle time. Cycle time is what? एक clock cycle का time कितना है. पहले क्या था, कितने instructions लगे, एक instruction को execute होने में कितना time लग रहा है, कितने clock cycle लग रहे हैं, और एक instruction का time कितना है. ये 3 चीजें हैं different. How number of instructions, cycle पर instructions, कितने clock cycle चाहिए कि इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट होने में, और एक इंस्ट्रक्शन का जो साइकिल है वो कितना लंबा है, कितना टाइम का है. सो एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम डिपेंड्स ऑन दीज 3 थिंग्स. ओके? एंड द साइकिल टाइम क्या होता है, जिसको आप टॉ बोलते हो, टॉ, दैट इज व्हाट साइकिल टाइम इज ए पीरियड समथिंग. Okay, that is what reciprocal of frequency, 1 upon f. Tau is equals to 1 upon f. So how to design execute time? Execution time को कैसे डिजाइन करें? IC instruction count क्या है? Required compile and programmer. Required compile and programmers. मैं कोई प्रोग्राम लिखूं, आप कोई प्रोग्राम लिखो, मे बी पॉसिबल I can write a program with the 2 additions. You can write a what the program with the 3 additions, or maybe someone is writing the what directly by multiplications. So that depends by the what programmer कि कितने count हो सकते हैं किसी instruction के. Okay, and also it depends on the compiler because compiler उसको किस unit में convert करने जा रहा है. Okay, कि addition multiplication is always implemented by the what addition, or multiplication is always implemented by the what shift operation. Okay, that is depends by the compiler how it is converted into the instructions. And CPI, complex with computer organization and micro cycle per instruction क्यों important है? That depends on the what micro architecture. Micro architecture means pipelining को कैसे इम्प्रूवमेंट कर रहे हो, मेमोरी में डेटा कैसे रख रहे हो. मेमोरी में डेटा रखने से मतलब समझते हो, मेमोरी में डेटा कहाँ हो सकता है? कैशे में हो सकता है, मेन मेमोरी में हो सकता है, हार्ड डिस्क में हो सकता है. अब कैशे में भी मेमोरी में कैसे रख सकते हो डेटा? डायरेक्ट मैपिंग, फुल्ली एसोसिएटिव और सेट एसोसिएटिव. सो सेट एसोसिएटिव, फुल्ली एसोसिएटिव और डायरेक्ट मैपिंग क्या है? इसके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या माइक्रो आर्किटेक्चर है. डेटा में से कैसे कंप्यूट करना है? 1 क्लॉक साइकिल में करना है, 2 क्लॉक साइकिल में करना है, 3 क्लॉक साइकिल में करना है, 4 क्लॉक साइकिल में करना है. मीन्स कितने नंबर ऑफ पाइपलाइनिंग बनाने हैं, कितने नंबर ऑफ स्टेजेस में करना है. सो नंबर ऑफ स्टेजेस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? माइक्रो आर्किटेक्चर. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी?
Yes, sir.
I think this is clear to everyone. Shall we go to next slide?
Yes, sir.
So what? CPU execution time. So we are referring to 1 upon f. So f is a operating frequency of a CPU or a device, circuit or a gate, you can say. If you are talking about the circuit, it's a circuit. If you are talking about a gate, it's a gate. Okay? If you are talking about a system, it's a system. So performance is basically what? जितना कम टाइम लगे उसका परफॉर्मेंस क्या होगा? उतना अच्छा होगा. So if you are reducing your execution time, it is your execution time. Just look for equation number 2, execution time. Execution time क्या है? यदि मैं execution time कम होगा तो मेरा क्या होगा? परफॉर्मेंस सिस्टम की इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. What reducing the execution time is increasing the performance simply. जितना कम किसी चीज को एग्जीक्यूट होने में लगे उतना अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस होगा. और एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम किस पर डिपेंड कर रहा है? 1 upon f है एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम. सो मीन्स परफॉर्मेंस इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एफ फ्रीक्वेंसी. सो फ्रीक्वेंसी के क्या हो गई? प्रोपोर्शनल हो गई मेरी. क्या प्रोपोर्शनल हो गई? परफॉर्मेंस. इफ आई एम इंक्रीजिंग द परफॉर्मेंस मीन परफॉर्मेंस को यदि मुझे इंक्रीज करना है तो किसको इंक्रीज करना पड़ेगा? फ्रीक्वेंसी को. सो व्हाट इफ आई एम इंक्रीजिंग माय फ्रीक्वेंसी मींस इंक्रीजिंग माय परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ ए सिस्टम or a CPU. Okay, but same time if I am writing down the dynamic power is something what for CMOS is half CV square f. So what is f? F is my operating frequency. यदि मैं f बढ़ाऊंगा तो मेरी पावर भी बढ़ेगी. So what dynamic power is proportional to f? That is the what equation number 4. Same times the my dynamic power is proportional to my VDD V, square V है ना. So यदि V मेरा वोल्टेज लेवल यदि सप्लाई वोल्टेज ज्यादा होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? डायनेमिक पावर बढ़ेगी. कैपेसिटेंस ज्यादा होगा तो भी पावर बढ़ेगी. सो व्हाट आई हैव टू रिड्यूस द व्हाट कैपेसिटेंस एट आल्सो द सोर्स वोल्टेज एंड द फ्रीक्वेंसी फॉर व्हाट रिड्यूसिंग द डायनेमिक पावर. एंड if I have to increase my performance, then I have to increase my frequency. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
So the outcome of the slide number 16 is what? Execution time जितना कम होगा उतना क्या होगा? परफॉर्मेंस बढ़िया होगा. परफॉर्मेंस कब बढ़िया होगा? जब फ्रीक्वेंसी आपकी क्या होगी? ज्यादा होगी. पावर कब ज्यादा होगी? जब फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा होगी. सो व्हाट? फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या, परफॉर्मेंस और पावर के क्या है? डिफरेंट कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी पार्ट है, ये ध्यान रखना. सो स्लाइड नंबर 17. शैल वी गो टू स्लाइड नंबर 17?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so one is trade-off between the performance and power. So earlier IC designers use frequency as a key.
fast time.
So what IC designers you use, they are using the frequency, means they are increasing the frequency to increase the performance. And what about the hello?
हाँ
कोई all of you are getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
yes sir.
Okay. So what is the power consumption is directly proportional to my operating frequency, but the previously pupils are using the frequency as a what key point for what increasing the performance. So power is a crucial constant for the system or a circuit. Beyond a certain point, you cannot increase the power, because if you are increasing the power, you are increasing the what heat, and ultimately your what the chip is burning down. Okay, so what you have to stop at some level. So frequency आप randomly increase नहीं कर सकते. So shrinking the transistor size. मगर problem क्या है? अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are talking about the 7 nanometer, 11 nanometer. Means we are talking about the shrinking the transistor size. Shrinking the transistor size, lower the capacitance. It's good, but it's higher the what frequency, and what also we are losing the what VDD. So VDD भी हम कम कर रहे हैं. It's good for power. We are lower the capacitance. It's good for this one, but the frequency is very high. Frequency high होने से क्या हो रहा है? Power बढ़ रही है, proportional है. Okay, and the thing is that जब ट्रांजिस्टर का साइज कम हो गया तो हमने एरिया तो वही रखा, बट प्रीवियसली वी आर पैकिंग ओनली 10 raised to power 3 transistor on a per unit area. Right now we are packing the 10 raised to power 7 okay transistor per unit area. So number of transistor ज्यादा हो गए, so power density ज्यादा हो गई उनकी अल्टीमेटली पर यूनिट एरिया में. जब पावर डेंसिटी ज्यादा हो गई तो चिप का क्या हो गया? टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया. क्यों बढ़ गया? एक तो सबसे मेन कारण क्या था? फ्रिक्वेंसी इंक्रीज हो गया. दूसरा वॉल्यूम जो है, वॉल्यूम डेंसिटी वो इंक्रीज होगी, नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजिस्टर पर यूनिट एरिया ज्यादा हो गया. दैट्स व्हाई द पावर बजट इंक्रीज हो गया. सो इन डीप सब माइक्रोन एरिया the pupils previously they are not looking for leakage power. Now the deep submicron area less than 45 nanometer, please carefully listen, less than 45 nanometer technology, the leakage power is the main component rather than dynamic. Okay, so this is creating a power wall, means you cannot increase the frequency at what some given level. So you have to reduce the frequency. Okay, so leakage power is the main component at the what? At the what? Beyond shrinking of the transistor less than 45, so 11 or 5 nanometer or 7 nanometer technology. So next is your CMOS. I think you all pupils know about the CMOS. So slide number 18, this is the general diagram of a CMOS. V in, VDD, V out, and the C load and ground, NMOS, PMOS. Okay. Now go for, I am going to the what next slide number 19. So this is what transaction of the power VDD to capacitance. Okay. CL. And another is what? Short circuit. Slide number 20. You pupils from electron side, I think you know about it very well. And this is what? Gate leakage. So these are what? Three powers: gate power, leakage power, or transaction power. So what happens? Come to the slide number 24, please. Slide number 24.
Yes, sir. 24.
So total energy drawn from power supply from voltage transaction for low to high is what? CL is capacitance load multiplied by what? VDD supply voltage. That is the total power. Total energy drawn, okay? And the actual energy stored is half CL VDD square. So where the half is gone, total is what? CL VDD square. And actual energy stored is half CV square. So this is what, where does my half is gone, is converted into the heat. इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू द हीट, और हीट का किससे रिलेशन होता है? जब हीट ट्रांसफर होता है तो टेम्परेचर क्रिएट होता है. ओके, सो माय पावर इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू द हीट, my power is converted into the temperature. That's why we are talking about the what? Power and temperature metric. Power is a different metric, temperature is a different metric. So if you are releasing more power, you are converting more power into heat, means you are talking about the more temperature. Okay, so slide number 25, that shows the what? Low to high transaction at the what? Output node. The load capacitor charged, half energy is dissipated as heat in Rp. जो आपका क्या है, रजिस्टर है, उसमें चली जाएगी चार्ज, कैपेसिटर चार्ज करने में. आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट हाफ पोर्शन जो मैं दिखा रहा हूं, जो डायग्राम में है. ठीक है, एंड अनदर इज 26 स्लाइड पे देखो, जब कैपेसिटर डिस्चार्ज हो रहा है Rn, तो वो क्या कर रहा है, ग्राउंड में चला जा रहा है. सो हाई टू लो ट्रांजैक्शन एट आउटपुट. सो लोड कैपेसिटेंस डिस्चार्ज, half energy dissipated as a heat in Rn. So other half energy is dissipated in the form of joule. So heat in the what? Resistor Rp and Rn. तो Rp और Rn के अंदर ही कन्वर्ट हो रहा है हीट, चार्जिंग और डिस्चार्जिंग में. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. ये आप लोगों ने सीमोस में पढ़ा होगा, बहुत इजी है. चार्ज due to the charging and discharging of a what? Capacitor, we are converting the what? Power or energy into the heat. Come to the next slide, 27 sorry.
Thermal power.
कुछ पूछना किसी को?
पूछ रहे हैं.
हेलो, हाँ
थर्मल डिजाइन पावर ही है ना.
हाँ हाँ, TDP, thermal design 27. So what ultimately you have to define the what? Power budget. समझ में क्या है, हम जब पावर को हीट में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है, और किसी भी डिवाइस का किसी सस्टेन करने के लिए फिक्स टेम्परेचर होता है. सो चिप मैन्युफैक्चर प्रोवाइड द थर्मल डिजाइन पावर TDP फॉर ए स्पेसिफिक चिप. हर चिप का स्पेसिफिक TDP होता है. उससे बियॉन्ड यदि मैं जाता हूं तो क्या होगा, या तो मुझे एक्स्ट्रा कूलिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगी, अदरवाइज चिप मेरी क्या हो जाएगी, बर्न आउट हो जाएगी. सो यदि आपने देखा हो, जब भी आप प्रोसेसर खरीदते हैं या लैपटॉप खरीदते हैं या मोबाइल खरीदते हैं, तो उसके अंदर जो प्रोसेसर लगा होता है उस पर TDP लिखा हुआ आता है कि मैक्सिमम पावर इट कैन बी सस्टेन, TDP इतना है. इंटेल और AMD जो दो बड़ी कंपनियां हैं जो प्रोसेसर डिजाइन करती हैं, वो अपने अकॉर्डिंग इसकी डेफिनेशन देती हैं. ठीक है, AMD कहता है दिस इज द मैक्सिमम पावर यू कैन जनरेट, बट द इंटेल इज सेइंग यू कैन जनरेट दैट मच ऑफ पावर, बट इट कैन बी हैंडल बाय अबाउट थर्मल मैनेजमेंट. ओके, मैं प्रैक्टिकली कुछ बता रहा हूं इसमें. अगर जब आप अपने लैपटॉप को चलाते हो तो समटाइम्स आपका लैपटॉप क्या होता है, बहुत तेजी से फैन आवाज करता है, एकदम जोर से आवाज करने लग जाता है, तेज हो जाता है. अचानक अपने आप तेज क्यों होता है? ड्यू टू द वो डायनेमिक थर्मल मैनेजमेंट. जब वो आपका जो प्रोसेसर है हाई कैलकुलेशन, हाई फ्रिक्वेंसी पर कैलकुलेशन करता है, बिकॉज यू पीपल्स हैव व्हाट? टर्बो बूस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी इन योर लैपटॉप प्रोसेसर. टर्बो बूस्ट क्या होता है? टर्बो बूस्ट वो होता है जो फ्रिक्वेंसी से कुछ ज्यादा 1.5 टाइम्स पे ऑपरेट करे. जब कोई बहुत ज्यादा तुम ऑपरेशन करने लगते हो, मल्टीमीडिया की एप्लीकेशन रन करते हो, तो क्या होता है, अचानक से फैन की स्पीड बढ़ जाती है. क्यों बढ़ जाती है? क्योंकि उस समय कंप्यूटेशन हाई हो जाता है. तो जो फैन का स्पीड बढ़ना है, जिसकी आप आवाज सुनते हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? डायनामिक थर्मल मैनेजमेंट. मीन्स टेम्परेचर को कम करने के लिए, हीट को डिसिपेट करने के लिए फैन से वो क्या करता है, स्पीड तेज कर देता है. और एक लिक्विड उस प्रोसेसर, यदि आप कभी खोलोगे सिस्टम को तो पाओगे कि प्रोसेसर के ऊपर एक लिक्विड लगा हुआ रहता है, दैट इज कूलेंट, दैट इज प्रोवाइडेड द स्टैटिक थर्मल मैनेजमेंट टाइप थिंग. और डायनेमिक थर्मल मैनेजमेंट क्या होता है? नाउ द डायनेमिक थर्मल मैनेजमेंट क्या होता है, एक बार जब स्पीड अप होता है आपका फैन, उसके बाद फ्रिक्वेंसी डाउन हो जाती है, अचानक से कंप्यूटेशन कम हो जाता है, फ्रिक्वेंसी को क्या कर दिया जाता है, फ्रिक्वेंसी डिवाइडर से कम कर दिया जाता है. उससे क्या होता है, फ्रिक्वेंसी कम होने से पावर कम हो जाती है इंस्टेंटली. ओके, क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? So TDP को maintain करना is a good thing. To avoid excessive triggering of DTM को यदि मैं बार बार ट्रिगर करता हूं तो क्या होगा, ये मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा परफॉर्मेंस में लॉस करता है. क्यों करता है? जब मैं फ्रीक्वेंसी को कम करूंगा तभी तो पावर कम होगा, तो फ्रीक्वेंसी कम करूंगा तो क्या हो जाएगा, परफॉर्मेंस भी कम हो जाएगा. सो DTM is dynamic thermal management is always what going into the performance loss. So some of the pupils they are using a different phenomena that is thermal safe power. मैं उसका जिक्र नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Thermal safe power क्या है? TSP उसको बोलते हैं. That is the new key point of research. उसमें क्या होता है? Suppose you are using more. We will talk it later. Okay? We will talk it later. So अभी TDP क्या है? केवल TDP is a thermal design power. वो पावर बजट है जिस तक मैं मैक्सिमम अपने सर्किट को या प्रोसेसर को उतनी पावर पर ऑपरेट कर सकता हूँ, उससे ज्यादा मैं ऑपरेट नहीं कर सकता. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? I think we can move to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Slide number 28. So another rule is Dennard scaling. What Dennard is saying, you cannot increase the frequency as much as you possible. You cannot increase. क्यों increase नहीं कर सकते? Because your BDD is shrinking, your transistor size is shrinking, but your VDD and frequency is not scaling according to what your transistor size. Getting my point? Voltage and current are proportional to the area of transistor. You are shrinking the transistor side. तो your capacitance is low, voltage को भी आप BDD को अभी कितने लेके आ गए हो, सोर्स वोल्टेज 1.2 और 1.1 तक लेके आ गए हो, and your I think the threshold voltage is what your is near equal to 0.8, means you are approaching the what your source voltage near to the what threshold voltage. तो VDD उससे कम नहीं हो सकता, उसके बराबर तो जाएगा नहीं, तो उसका स्केलिंग पॉइंट एक फिक्स है. सो दैट्स व्हाई योर स्केलिंग इज फिक्स. और प्रीवियसली डेनार्ड ने जब ये लॉ दिया था 1974 में दिया था, उस समय उससे लीकेज करंट के बारे में पता नहीं था, लोअर ट्रांजिस्टर लेवल पर डीप सब माइक्रोन एरर के बारे में. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन नॉट व्हाट इंक्रीजिंग द फ्रीक्वेंसी एज मच एज पॉसिबल. दैट टाइम इट इज फेल्ड ड्यू टू द व्हाट डेनार्ड स्केलिंग. सो डेनार्ड क्या कहता है, यू कैन नॉट इंक्रीज द फ्रीक्वेंसी एज मच एज यू पॉसिबल एज विथ द व्हाट, जिस हिसाब से टेक्नोलॉजी श्रिंकिंग डाउन हो रहा है, साइज डाउन हो रहा है, साइज में जो मैं स्केलिंग कर पा रहा हूं उसमें उसी अकॉर्डिंग में VDD में नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाई व्हाट दे आर लूजिंग द व्हाट पावर वॉल. सो पावर इज ए क्रूशियल पॉइंट. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? स्लाइड नंबर 28 क्लियर हुआ?
Yes,
क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं कम? क्योंकि मैं साइज, ट्रांजिस्टर की साइज तो कम कर पा रहा हूँ, मगर उसके अकॉर्डिंग मैं VDD को उस लेवल तक नहीं लेके आ सकता कि मैं उसके बियॉन्ड 1.0 0.8 0.9 तक लेके आ जाऊं. इतना पॉसिबल नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट टाइम दिस इज थ्रेशोल्ड वोल्टेज एंड सोर्स वोल्टेज इज सेम. सो यू कैन नॉट व्हाट अबाउट द व्हाट फ्रीक्वेंसी भी आप अकॉर्डिंग टू उसके अकॉर्डिंग बढ़ा नहीं सकते. ठीक है. सो नाउ कम टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. व्हाट हैपेंड इन 2006? Intel is working at 3.5 gigahertz Pentium 4 processor and is looking for 3.9 gigahertz to 4 gigahertz. They use it, but that is called what press hot CPU chip that generate about 40% more heat per clock cycle rather than the earlier variants. So they are not what making a new processor with the increasing the frequency. क्या हुआ, मैं हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करता हूँ. In 2005 or 6, whenever B pupils are using the Pentium 4s, I think most of the B pupils are using Pentium 4. That time the Pentium 4 have what 3.6 gigahertz, and Intel is looking for new processor that is also working to the 4 gigahertz. But the problem is that system is generating 40% more power. So the system is shut down due to the temperature error, and we cannot compute anything else. So what Intel have stopped the frequency phenomena to increase the performance. क्या हुआ? Intel ने प्रोसेसर की परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ाने के लिए फ्रीक्वेंसी को बढ़ाया and is come to the 4 gigahertz, but it lose due to the what increasing of the power or temperature. That is, chip is called pre-hot or the press hot chip. This is fell due to the power wall. Now, the only way to sustain a processor with lower the frequency, फ्रीक्वेंसी को क्या कर दिया जाए, लो कर दिया जाए, तभी एक प्रोसेसर पॉसिबल होगा. अगर मैं फ्रीक्वेंसी लो करूंगा तो क्या होगा? परफॉर्मेंस डाउन हो जाएगा. सो दिस इज द कंट्रोडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट. नाउ व्हाट हैपन? They use a new concept after Pentium 4, that is core to duo and dual core processor. Means they are increasing the number of core, computational core within a processor. They have used more core to compute. Means they are using more resources, resource duplication. Okay, structure बढ़ा दिया. Means they are using multi-core phenomena. Is it clear to everybody? So come to the next slide, slide number 30, please. Okay,
Yes, sir.
everyone is watching this slide, figure number 16, ITRS 2015. Okay, so what? If you are watching the first upper curve, that is what transistor counts. So it is rapidly increasing by the existence of Moore's law. By the rule is saying we are shrinking the transistor size. That's why we can what? Put more number of transistors counts in a particular chip area. Okay? So it's rapidly increasing still. If you are looking for a curve of typical power budget and green curve of a frequency, so frequency is increasing starting constantly or linearly, and this is slightly increasing in 2004 or 5. Okay, यदि आप कर्व को देखेंगे तो क्या होगा? ग्रीन कर्व में भी आप डॉटेड देखेंगे तो क्या होगा? जो लाइन है वो 2005 पर लीनियर से कुछ बढ़ता है और उसके बाद वापस फॉल चालू हो जाता है. मींस आफ्टर 2005 वी हैव टू थिंक अगेन. What we have to think again? We cannot increase the frequency due to the what? Power budget, due to the Dennard scaling law. Okay, so this frequency is down after the what? 2006. And what happens? The power is constant near equal to what? 2006 or 7. Red buttons. Okay, if you are looking the curve. And another green is a blue line. Blue line is saying you are increasing what? You are talking about the single threaded performance. Single thread performance को आप बढ़ा रहे थे till 2005. उसके बाद में वो constant हो गया single threaded performance. Okay? क्यों हो गया? Due to the frequency. Now another black line is the last lower one. If you are looking it is increasing after 2005. जहां सारे कर्व सैचुरेटेड हो चुके थे वहां 2005 के बाद में नंबर ऑफ कोर्स इंक्रीज हुए हैं. ओके, मींस वी आर इंक्रीजिंग द नंबर ऑफ कोर्स टू कंप्यूट मोर एंड मोर थिंग्स. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? So after 2005 or 6, the trend is that we have to lower the frequency, maintain the power. We cannot increase the frequency, cannot increase the power, but we cannot increase the what? Single threaded performance. Single threaded performance means you are talking about the Pentium 4, but we can increase the number of resources. That is the number of cores that you use, core to dual core processors. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So come to the next slide, 31. So this is the what main reason to convert a unicore area to multi-core era. So frequency, power, constant TDP, reduce frequency for low power budgets or the performance loss is a main concern. use multiple resources at lower frequency, that is multiple application, multiple process. What is multiple application, multiple processors system? Third one. And the brick wall is memory ball, ILP, and power ball. What I am saying, these three are called brick balls, is memory ball, ILP ball and power ball. पावर बॉल हमने देखा बिकॉज हम फ्रिक्वेंसी बढ़ाते हैं तो डेनार्ड स्केलिंग खत्म हो जाता है. इंस्ट्रक्शन लेवल पैरेललिज्म क्या है, हम एक जो नंबर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस है उनके बीच में एक मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल तक डिपेंडेंसीज रिमूव कर सकते हैं, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए इंस्ट्रक्शन लेवल पैरेललिज्म आया. मेमोरी बॉल क्या, इट्स लिमिट द मेमोरी साइज, ऑन चिप मेमोरी साइज, सो दैट्स व्हाई इट्स अ मेमोरी बॉल. मेमोरी कंट्रोलर का जो साइज था हैंडल करने का वो, ठीक है. So these are three major concerns that force us to unicore to multi-core era. So what is multi-core era? Slide number 32. Multi-core era is what? We are increasing the number of computational unit or number of processors per unit chip. Okay, per chip. पहले Pentium 4 में एक ही physical unit थी. Now i3 containing what, 2 cores. Now i5 containing 4 cores, or sometimes they are containing 3 or 2 cores, and i7 is containing 4 physical cores. Okay. Now some pupils are saying, I am running the thing sequentially, I am running the thing serially, or I am running the thing concurrently, or I am running the thing parallelly. Okay, so this is very crucial slide. Slide number 32 is very, very important. Listen me. A program can be sequential or concurrent. ध्यान से सुनना ये चीज. A program can be sequential or concurrent, and a hardware is serial or parallel. A hardware is a serial or parallel. We are sometimes saying that we are running parallelly. No, this is something different. We are running concurrently. This is something different. Is it clear to everybody what I am saying? The running the things parallelly and running the things concurrently is a very different things. Okay, 99% of the pupils cannot differentiate in it. So what a hardware have about serial or parallel property, a software have about sequential or concurrent property only. So you have a Pentium 4 and you are running a simple matrix multiplication using MATLAB, or you are using a simple C program running on a Pentium 4. That is called what? Serial sequential execution. Line by line आप execute कर रहे हो program को एक Pentium 4 पे, which is possible. Previously we can run these things. हमने C का प्रोग्राम लिखाया, कंपाइलर चलाया और sequentially Pentium 4 पे रन कर दिया. कोई प्रॉब्लम थी? No. So this is called what? Serial sequential execution. Another thing is that what? Serial concurrent execution. What is serial concurrent execution? You are running Microsoft Word, Winamp, or you are what, typing something in what system, and still you are using a single core serial Pentium 4. So what? Your hardware is still serial, single one, but you are interacting or you are executing more than one program at the same time. That is only possible by using the operating system. Some pupils are talking it is a contact switch, जिसको आप बोलते हो दो प्रोसेस के बीच में कॉन्टैक्ट स्विच होता है. क्या होता है कॉन्टैक्ट स्विच? एक बार आप क्या कर रहे हो, मल्टीमीडिया चला रहे हो, मतलब आप मूवी देख रहे हो, समटाइम्स आपने क्या कर रखा है, साइड में टाइपिंग के लिए माइक्रोसॉफ्ट खोला हुआ है, विनएम्प पे गाने सुन रहे हो और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड पे लिख रहे हो आप. There are two different processes. They are running concurrently with the help of operating system on a single core. or a serial machine. This is called serial concurrent execution with the helping of a operating system. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The third portion is parallel sequential execution. Means you have 10,000 of core या 1000 core chip, 1000 core लगे हुए हैं उस पर, और still you are executing a sequential program matrix multiplication. It is worthy?
Yes.
ये पॉसिबल, मतलब पॉसिबल तो है क्या? ये मेरे पास 1000 कोर का प्रोसेसर है और मैं सिंपल सी का प्रोग्राम लिखना है, क्या मुझे परचेज करना चाहिए? नहीं, क्योंकि जब मुझे सीरियल प्रोग्राम रन करना है तो सिक्वेंशियल प्रोग्राम रन करना है तो मैं सीरियल प्रोसेसर पे रन कर लूंगा, एक पे कर लूंगा. सो दिस पैरेलल सिक्वेंशियल एग्जीक्यूशन है व्हाट डज नॉट मीनिंग, इसका कोई मीनिंग नहीं है. कैसे मीनिंग नहीं है? यू हैव i3 i7 प्रोसेसर और you are purchasing a i7 processor or you want a right to write a simple C program, सी की लैब करना चाहते हो और आपने घर वालों से कह के i7 प्रोसेसर का सिस्टम खरीद लिया है. दिस इज वर्थलेस. इट कैन बी डन बाय यूजिंग Pentium 4. okay, but if you are talking about a parallel concurrent execution, that is what M processor means 1000 of core and N processor means 900 process means आप एक समय बिनएम खोल रहे हो, एक समय आपने मल्टीमीडिया चालू कर लिया, दूसरे समय लिख रहे हो, कुछ भी कर रहे हो. बहुत सारी डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशन है, जैसे कि एक बार इमेज का हो गया, एक ऑडियो का हो गया, एक वर्ड का हो गया, एक आपने प्रोग्राम को क्या कहते हैं एग्जीक्यूशन मोड पे डाल दिया, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. तो आप क्या करोगे? डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशंस को डिफरेंट प्रोसेसर पे शेड्यूल कर सकते हो, फिजिकली शेड्यूल. पहले हम क्या कर रहे थे सीरियल कॉन्करेंट एग्जीक्यूशन में? ध्यान से सुनना, प्रोसेसर मेरे पास एक ही था, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच दे रहा था दोनों के बीच में, जिससे हमें ऐसा लग रहा था कि दोनों चीजें एक साथ हो रही है, मगर दोनों चीजें एक साथ नहीं हो रही थी सीरियल कॉन्करेंट एग्जीक्यूशन में. फिजिकली वन प्रोसेस इज रनिंग ऑन ए सिंगल कोर. In parallel concurrent executions, you are running number of process on number of processors or number of cores is physically. That is possible by the new operating systems which you pupils are using Windows 10 and all these things. Hello. Hello, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Hello, the main thing is that you have to convert the sequential program into a concurrent. आपको sequential program को concurrent program में convert करना means sequential program की breaking इस तरीके से करनी है कि वो जो number of process course available उन पे map हो जाए. ठीक है? That is called converging a sequential program into the concurrent. Sometime people are calling is a पैरेलल प्रोग्रामिंग. सो पैरेलल प्रोग्रामिंग कहाँ से वर्ड आया यूज में? जब सिक्वेंशियल प्रोग्राम को कॉन्करेंट प्रोग्रामिंग में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी?
Yes, sir.
दिस स्लाइड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, नंबर 33 पे आ जाओ. अब अभी आपने क्या देखा? सीपीयू का परफॉर्मेंस देखा, फ्रीक्वेंसी से देखा, सिंगल कोर मल्टी कोर से देखा. ठीक है, अभी हम अंदर एएलयू की बात करें, अभी हम पर्टिकुलर एएलयू की बात करें तो एएलयू में देखो i1 i2 i3 i4 i5 i6 क्या है आपके पास में? इनपुट्स हैं. एंड यू हैव टू मल्टीप्लायर एंड 4 एडिशंस इन दिस ग्राफ. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? डेटा फ्लो ग्राफ. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? ग्राफ क्लियर हुआ? 2 ऑपरेशन है आपके पास में मल्टीप्लीकेशन के, 4 एडिशन के ऑपरेशन है. एडर का जो डिले है 80 नैनो सेकंड्स है, मल्टीप्लायर का डिले 150 नैनो सेकंड्स है. ओके, गेटिंग माय बॉयज? मल्टीप्लायर का डिले 150 है, एडर का 80 है. द लॉन्गेस्ट चेन कितनी होगी? 150 प्लस 80 प्लस 150, दैट इज व्हाट? 380. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड, यदि मैं इतने का 1 क्लॉक साइकिल रखता हूं तो मेरा I1 इनपुट से आउटपुट जनरेट हो रहा है O1 और O2 कितने में, 380 नैनो सेकेंड्स के अंदर। कब जनरेट हो पाएगा, जब मेरे पास दोनों ही मल्टीप्लायर, 2 मल्टीप्लायर हो, 4 एडर अवेलेबल हो। तो एक क्लॉक साइकिल के अंदर हम ये डिसाइड करते हैं कि कितने रिसोर्सेज लगने हैं, कितने रिसोर्सेज मेरे पास हैं, हाउ मेनी रिसोर्सेज आई विल अलॉट, दिस इज कॉल्ड व्हाट, अलोकेशन। और किस क्लॉक साइकिल के अंदर करना, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट, शेड्यूलिंग। और कितना टाइम लगेगा, दैट इज व्हाट, एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम इज व्हाट, माय टाइमिंग। तो पहला जो मेरा केस है वो फुल्ली पैरेलल केस है सिंगल साइकिल का। क्या है, जब मेरे पास जितने ऑपरेशंस हैं उतने ही मेरे पास रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं, तो मैं उनको क्या कर सकता हूँ, लॉन्गेस्ट चेन में कंप्लीट कर सकता हूँ। लॉन्गेस्ट चेन कितना हुआ, 380 का, 150 प्लस 80 प्लस 150। अदरवाइज कोई से भी इनपुट से जाओगे तो आप क्या होगा, अगर दूसरा करोगे तो 80 प्लस 80 प्लस 150 नहीं होगा, 380 से कम हो जाएगा। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी?
Yes.
आई थिंक दिस स्लाइड इज क्लियर। कम टू 34।
It is about to 1 p.m. So we will
हेलो,
hello.
हाँ,
1 बजने 1 के करीब हो रहा है, तो थोड़ा सा फास्ट हो जाए।
अच्छा थोड़ा सा फास्ट हो गया,
हाँ, फास्ट कर दीजिए।
फास्ट करूँ मैं?
हाँ
शैल आई गो फास्ट अनुराग?
हाँ, yes.
Yes, chalo, okay. So if you are looking for the next diagram, we have only what, one multiplier, one adder, and clock cycle is 150 nanoseconds. Means 150 nanoseconds के अंदर मैं एक adder, एक multiplier use कर सकता हूँ. Maximum I am using the one adder multiplier, one adder. So 150 nanoseconds के अंदर मैंने compute किया one multiplication, one addition. So next is I can use only what? Only addition. Multiplication नहीं कर सकता because output is available in the third clock cycles. So I have to compute in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles. So 5 cycles, one cycle is 150. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cycles के अंदर हुआ तो 150 into 4. So that is 600 nanoseconds. So 600 nanosecond is what my execution time. अगर मैं सेम इसी को, सेम रिसोर्सेज, वन एडर वन मल्टीप्लायर को दी मैं 80 नैनोसेकंड्स क्लॉक साइकिल से करता हूं, तो इट्स यूजिंग 400 nanoseconds execution time. So it's using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clock cycles. So 5 is multiplied by 80. That is 400 nanoseconds. Okay. So this is called what? That is what minimum resources, one adder, one multiplier, and what execution time is 400 nanoseconds. So this is better designing than the what previous one, 150 nanoseconds clock cycle time. Is it clear to everybody? So how we decide the clock cycle and the frequency is that. And how we decide the frequency? Frequency can be decided by the maximum longest path delay. Okay. So come to the next slide, 35 slides. Shall I go fast?
No,
Yes, sir.
no.
So CPU performance is ISA is a big A design. Microarchitecture is a trade-off of implementation of ISA for some metrics, power, performance, cost. And microarchitecture is basically for pipelining, cache size, power, execution ordering, bus width, ALU implementation. This is a part of microarchitecture. Remark is that the AMD Opteron 64 and Intel 6P4, Intel P4 means Pentium 4, both are using 84 is wrong, is 86 architecture, but have different performance. दोनों का इंस्ट्रक्शन सेट आर्किटेक्चर सेम है, बट उनका परफॉर्मेंस डिफरेंस है. क्यों डिफरेंट है? बिकॉज उनका जो माइक्रो आर्किटेक्चर है AMD का, ऑप्टॉन 64 का, वो हैमर आर्किटेक्चर है, सॉरी वो हैमर आर्किटेक्चर है, एंड द पेंटियम 4 का जो है नेट बस माइक्रो आर्किटेक्चर है. दोनों का अलग अलग है. एंड पेंटियम 4 एंड मोबाइल P4 आर नियरली आइडेंटिकल ISA एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. उनका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी लगभग सेम है, इंस्ट्रक्शन सेट आर्किटेक्चर भी सेम है, बट दे हैव डिफरेंट परफॉर्मेंस बिकॉज दे आर यूजिंग द डिफरेंट implementation technology and packaging technology. So this is okay. So this is what that is depends on the micro architecture. So slide number 37 is a parallelism is depends on the hardware and software. and another is the Amdahl's law, that is make the common cache faster. And computation versus communication, which is useful between the core is communication is important, or the bus is important, or the execution unit is important. Another is you can use the what number of cores, but you have to use a network on chip. This router you have to use. This is a part of new phenomena. And dark silicon and dim silicon is a problem because you cannot use the maximum transistors at the same time. So these transistors can be shut down at that time. This is called what the dark silicon. Another, you have used the what these dark silicon at the lower frequency. This is called what dim silicon. So these are two new terms that you can search for your next
Research.
classes, dark and dim silicon, NOC, clock course for you. And come to the next slide, 38. That is very simple and very effective example that everyone, I am each and every time told the pupils कि how you use a accelerator, कहाँ use करना है, कहाँ नहीं करना है. Suppose you want to achieve a speed up of a system 90 times, किसी एप्लीकेशन को 90 times faster बनाना है और उसके लिए आपको 100 प्रोसेसर्स की रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो क्या आप ये कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि जो आपका ओरिजिनल कंप्यूटेशन है वो कितना परसेंट सिक्वेंशियल हो, कितना पार्ट जो आपको यूज करना है कि कितने आप कोर्स यूज कर रहे हो. ओके, सो सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग द वैल्यूज. ओके, सो अमाउंट ऑफ इंप्रूवमेंट आप क्या कर रहे हो, हार्डवेयर में 100 प्रोसेसर यूज कर रहे हो, है ना. एंड स्पीड अप टोटल ओवरऑल कितना कर रहे हो, 90. सो 90 इज स्पीड अप and the amount of improvement is 100, and you have to find out the fractional part of the program कि कितना part sequential रह जाएगा. So that part is, come to the slide number 39, is part is after calculation is 0.01%. This 0.1%, यदि आपको कोई एप्लीकेशन है, उसको जो एप्लीकेशन अभी यदि 1 परफॉर्मेंस पे उसको 90 परफॉर्मेंस पे लाना यूजिंग द 100 प्रोसेसर, तो आपको जो प्रोग्राम है जो सिक्वेंशियल लिखा हुआ है उसको 99.9% कॉन्करेंट कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. ओनली 0.1 sequential part. That is technically impossible. You cannot convert each program into the 100% concurrent. So that's why we are saying the hardware industries is far better than the what software industries. So you pupils are using the CUDA programming, parallel programming, Intel Parallel Studio, and all these things we are using to convert a sequential program into the concurrent program. Is it clear to everybody? This is the practical one. Theoretical example, numerical problem. Come to the slide number 40. This is the brief lab assignments. You can use ASIC technologies, FPGA you can use Xilinx, simulators you can use Hyper-NIRGAM, Simple Scalar. Hyper-NIRGAM is a what myself design simulator. Okay, I have designed for what power area timing for the network on chip. And another is what you can build a system on a Xilinx platform studio using the different things and temperature sensors and all these things. Slide number 42, the simple Verilog program. Why we use the Verilog language, VHDL languages? We use the VHDL languages because we cannot connect the 1000 10 raised to power 5 gates. So that's why we have to write the program only. So this is what system Verilog program. Slide number 42. You have to declare modules, that is half adder. A, B is the input, sum and carry is the output. So output is what? Sum and carry. And input is A and B, and the wire is using for sum and carry. So assign sum. Sum क्या होता है? A XOR B, and carry is A and B. So what you have write the program and you can simulate and synthesis. After synthesis is converted into the what gate level connections. And what is this is called, another part is test bench. You have to write what A0, V0, A01, 110. So it can be tested for each and every cases. So after what you are using a test bench and simulate this one, आपके पास waveform आती है. That waveform is called what? VCD waveform, value change dump file. What is value change dump file? The value change dump file is what is a switching activity that shows the what how many switches are possible. Switching is possible. Okay, that switching is responsible for power. Okay, so if you are providing the same input is a long time 0 0, then again 0 0 0 0 0 0, then you are using the 0 1, then this is something what, suppose you are using the AND gate and you are providing 0 0, then 0 0, then 0 0, then 0 0, then suppose you are providing 1 1 or 0 1. Okay, 1 1, you are providing 1 1, that is switching. So long time is 0, then switching 1. So maybe possible this is generating the what switching activity. Okay, last is 43 is a thank you. So I think this session is very interacting for you, to a very brief overview. I am not saying that I am going about too much deep, a very brief overview to how we switch to what Unicode to multi-core, how can we look a problem at a different level, and how we can resolve a problem, why we cannot use a frequency as a limit, and all these things. I think, Anurag, this is, if anyone have any query.
One question is from the Bhavani Shankar
Yeah.
In the chat box.
Okay, chat box.
I'm speaking the question. Any example related to RTL and algorithm from behavior to structure?
RTL.
RTL and algorithm from behavior to structural design.
अच्छा, RTL level पे है ना? Yeah. So I go to that slide first. Okay.
Anyone having any other question can type in the chat
RTL
box.
specification. What is RTL specification? What is RTL specification? Is converted into ALU and register and mux. Okay, slide number, you can go for the slide number 10. So you write some algorithm, you write a simple C++ program, or you write a Verilog program. Okay, so RTL specification यदि आपने synthesis करके देखा हो, तो मैं आपसे कहूँगा कि एक सिंपल स्टेट मशीन जो होती है, जो स्टेट मशीन जो आप बनाते हो, जो फ्लिप फ्लॉप्स के लिए जो आप स्टेट मशीन डिजाइन करते हो काउंटर के लिए, ओके, फ्लिप फ्लॉप और उसके लिए जो स्टेट मशीन डिजाइन करते हो, FSM जिसको बोलते हैं फाइनाइट स्टेट मशीन, फाइनाइट स्टेट मशीन जो होती है वो RTL का एग्जांपल होती है, रजिस्टर ट्रांसफर लैंग्वेज स्पेसिफिकेशन में, बिकॉज this is converted into the what ultimately in a what your it defined the mux or something or gate or flip flops. Okay, and also RTL specification, register transfer language specification is something in the between a gate abstract view to a algorithmic abstract view. You can say is a simple Verilog code, but is in an executable format. You people use Xylene? किसी ने Xylene use किया है? I think Xylene में we can write a Verilog program, system C program, that is what algorithmic level or system level specification view. But you can also write a state model directly. You can put a FSM डाल के भी synthesis करोगे तो that is also converted into ALU, register or mux. That is called what register level RTL level specification. ये करके देखना कभी RTL level specification जिसमें कि FSM होता है, FSM को आप कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो मॉड्यूल्स के अंदर. Anyone else?
Anyone having any question? I think they have no question.
So anyone have question directly, you can ask directly out.
They can directly. One is you people are talking about the algorithm. If you are talking about the system level, so system level में क्या होता है, जो अपने IPs होते हैं, they are writing into the what system C languages. Okay. And these system C languages, they are coupled. What happens? If you are writing a Verilog code, this is converted into the what hardware level directly. But you cannot write an application on the what Verilog. So what happens? We are writing an application into C or C++. So ultimately, my hardware is also writing into the what C++. So what the pupils are using the system C at a native language that is interact with the application and hardware both. So pupils are writing the what algorithms for system specification into the system C. So which is providing virtual platform type of things. So if you are thinking about the IPs, if you heard about the intellectual properties, they are writing into the what Verilog and they are also writing into the system C. So system C में हम उनको लिखते हैं और application भी उसी पे लिखते हैं किसमें C में और C++ में. That's why these applications can be run into the what these hardware that is writing into the IP. That is called what simulation cycle accurate simulation. If you go for the depth knowledge of this one, that is called what cycle accurate simulation. That is also converted or synthesis at the system level. So this is called, some people are called the algorithm synthesis or the system synthesis, but they are writing into the system C's. Instruction set simulator जिसको आप बोलते हो. Any other?
No, sir. There is no any further query. So I think, sir,
Yeah. Can we have a document or learn X-Links Verilog?
Xilinx, not the X-Link, Xilinx is there.
Xilinx Verilog. Yeah, Xilinx you can run. I will provide some video links to Anurag sir. Then he will coordinate with you. Documentation, you can very much video is available for Xilinx. How to write a program, how to synthesize, how to write, and how to synthesis, syntax check, and also other things. Because right now the Xilinx is a Vivodo is a synthesis tool. So it's have what IP designing, state machine designing, and all these things available in this one. मैं उसका लिंक भेज दूंगा आप लोगों को, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बहुत सारे वीडियोस अवेलेबल हैं. Even if I send to a books, if you can download one book is Harris and Harris. This is a very good book, which is digital design and Verilog to a synthesis. आपको हर मॉड्यूल का समझाएगा वो स्पेसिफिकेशन में और उसमें कन्वर्ट करके दिखा रखा है. Any else? Anything else?
No. Any other further, any question from anyone?
Anyone participant want to share something?
Can unmute your mic. Sir, Ashish sir, any online simulation?
Yeah, you can. I will give you some online if you are talking about. You can download the what. यदि आपके पास Ubuntu है तो Ubuntu पे भी synthesis करके टूल आता है, उसको आप डाउनलोड कर लीजिए, ठीक है. और otherwise one online website is Playground करके वेबसाइट है, Playgrounds करके वेबसाइट है. उस पर आप अपने सिस्टम सी इनके कोड लिखिए, चाहे आप उस पर सिनॉप्सिस पे, कैडेंस पे, Xilinx पे, मेंटोर ग्राफिक्स पे, कोई सा भी आप सिमुलेटर और सिंथेसिस टूल यूज कर सकते हैं वहाँ पर. इट इज़ ए ओपन टू ऑल. ऑनलाइन इज ए दिस इज आई थिंक दिस इज अ सिंपल प्लेग्राउंड टूल, प्लेग्राउंड वेबसाइट, प्लेग्राउंड्स करके वेबसाइट है, उस पर आप जाएं तो वहाँ पर सारी फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल है. इट इज़ ए वेरी गुड वेबसाइट, प्लेग्राउंड करके वेबसाइट है. I will send this link to the Anurag also, na? So you people can what.
Okay, I will share the details and the links given by the sir in due course time. And one thing more, anyone having any kind of suggestion, any question regarding anything, you can ask. Otherwise, we have to close the session. There is no need to type in the chat box. You can directly ask by unmuting your mic.
So the site website is EDA/playground.
EDA Playground. I am typing it.
Playground. This is the site where you can what download the tutorial and the other things. and you can run your program also as well. Run the program.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you, sir.
online. It's online. Okay.
Ashish sir, for your valuable time and knowledge. So I think we are very thankful for your valuable comments and knowledge. We will be in the contact for any other session or further any requirement from the students, and I will share if someone is interested to work with you or want to check with you in the email also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now, student can leave their session, participants. The session is over.